All right, welcome everyone. This is day two. Yeah, day two. Today is what, Wednesday, Tuesday? Yeah, today is Tuesday. So this is day two, week 17 of our journey here together. Again, that's day two, week 17. Um, I guess today is a special day in a sense. Um, I want to know, how did it go? How did the exam go for those who take it? Um, so let me know, how did it go for y'all? You have to be shy, because I'll start calling names.
I know I do. I do. I do good. Sure.
You did it for sure. All
I
right.
write on everything.
You write down
Mostly everything.
mostly everything.
There's some questions
Uh-huh.
they ask for in the notes.
Uh-huh.
I mean some. The questions, well, the marks.
Yeah.
It was in the note section.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
SBT,
Yes, sir.
SBT.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right guy do you come now and tell you that, man. It was solid though.
Okay.
I did one
It was a bad.
question and answer though.
Okay.
You see, it was, but the question was like, explain how Dawkins got excluded.
Yeah, that too.
I can remember that.
I know she walked through ours though.
Okay.
Really, one question, like, I had to rewrite it over. It was my number 7 question.
Okay. All right. Wow. So, what was the story about that?
It was like changes, change of educations. The future of educations in the Bahamas.
The history.
The history?
Yeah. Okay, based off of what I know, based off the thing it was just telling you how Miss Dawkins, the way she went to school, she walked 3 miles. There was no internet, AC, there was no laptop, computer. She went to school on the island, so she went to Carnell's Hill. Then from Carnell's Hill she went to Government High, and then she completed her education there. And then they talked about, then they compared to her grandson David. David was he was in the present, whereas he's virtually learning online and stuff. So he was basically comparing then from her time where she walked 3 miles and there was no bus or ride. Now how you could home from school, don't have to be in uniform, have scheduled classes online and stuff. And then they extended more where someone else came on, Miss Smith, and she talked about homeschool, basically. And it was like the format, like the questions was very similar to last night. They were like in different settings, of course, but I think the only thing I messed up on was Mrs. Smith's character, and then the requirements for homeschool, because I spoke really fast during that section. So that's the only thing I probably
I get that part.
No, I leave it blank. I answered but I think I get the full marks. I get,
Okay.
Which one that was? All right, I step up. Which one y'all talking about? Which question?
What our exam?
That was I think that was question 6 where they talk about the requirements for homeschool. Which requirement?
That was
that was like
Are they saying what the register?
Register to the ministry, right? Register to the ministry.
Yeah.
The homeschool unit. Homeschool certificate?
Yeah, a homeschool certificate.
No, to be like 5 or 16 years old, right? Something like that.
I didn't remember that part.
You see, I read that part down. Only one I missed, and I only have 2. So everything else.
Did they ask about the techniques used on that?
Yes, the techniques and methods.
Yeah.
Thank God. Yes.
It was the same one you last night.
That was the last question. And what was so fun is that you've been over interesting facts, jokes, and
All them coming to place.
All of them was there. Jokes,
Flashback.
interesting, and
Everything.
flashback.
Wow.
And flashback is there. That's the three I use.
Wow. That's good. That's a good thing we did that yesterday. Slide that in right at the nick of time. That's good. Wow. Okay. But did y'all get most of the things you need in the first reading or in the second reading after?
Second reading, of course.
Second, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Second, okay.
That was a long story.
Oh,
That was really long.
did everyone come early and on time? That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I didn't meet no one, honestly. I don't know. I just got there. I felt like that when I gone home.
Wow.
I didn't know anyone face to say hi or anything. So
Oh,
I just,
no one, y'all didn't saw each other?
I was solo. Yeah.
Y'all didn't saw oh,
Good day, good day.
Hey, Floyd, I know you clean up today.
It's okay, you know.
It's okay.
No, I didn't see no one either because I know how y'all look.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
But they put me in the way, they put me close to the door.
Wow.
They
Yeah.
used to they had a section yesterday at class.
What you mean?
They say all them Mr. candidates all into the back.
I know true.
No, I didn't think so. Wait, I was.
What
I
the
was-
candidate number is?
Me?
Anyone?
0082. So
If we get mine, 206.
Well, mine is
Yeah.
140,
yeah,
How much people is in now?
a
like
lot.
300.
A lot of kids in there. I was like,
You say 300?
Yeah, but that's like about 300 if you round it off.
Okay. And all that for listening to one audio file?
Yep.
wow.
You see?
Yep.
Wow. How? What was that? What they use? They use what? A radio or what?
A church.
Radio.
It's like a church setup.
Oh, so it sounds.
You know them big speakers them churches are hanging from the roof?
Okay.
Yeah, they use that.
Okay.
Most of them was like schools though. Like most of the people was
our
from
school
school.
came too. And if y'all saw a school red tie,
I see no rising.
You're rising. Yeah, that's us. I hope they behave.
No, honestly, I wasn't paying attention to one where I was like in and out. I just wanted to be in and out.
You know,
I surprised
You
no
know,
one.
I
I
had to-
surprised no one thought no one like, noticed how I looked. I thought they would have hailed me like hi.
Oh, I tried.
No one hailed me. I
Plots.
was like hi.
I was looking for someone with plots, but I only see like two people. Like they dying Nazi because they ain't.
Okay,
ain't
I was
big enough.
wearing like a black shirt with like skeletons, like exercising on it.
you're not doing foolishness. I gotta come in.
No,
It's like skeletons.
I
Don't
saw
come
someone
to chill
with a-
fit.
I saw someone with a jacket with like anime characters on it.
No, I had skeletons on like the front part of my shirt.
Dying professional.
Yeah.
They say come comfortable. You say be me, Mr. Potato. You said come get it and come prevent.
I said, come such that they wouldn't kick you at the hall.
I didn't. I wore my big shirt with a nice fitted jeans and some tennis. I put on some sneakers and I got into
What
the
color?
car.
What color your jeans was?
It was dark blue. But anyway, y'all didn't see that no more because that they're gone.
All right. I'm glad it was an easy exam. I'm glad that at least straightforward. Like I told y'all last night, I said, listen, this ain't gonna be easy, And so
The recording was. I feel like that was forever.
it took long.
I thought
That
it was
was
gonna
really
finish.
long.
I thought it was gonna finish with the old woman. But I look,
Yeah.
say next caller was.
It was longer than the one we had last night. Honestly, that was maximum good 16 minutes.
Wow. All right. So
Was it y'all put for the woman? I think they asked for a personality or something. What they ask? Characteristics?
Yeah, I still got confused. I put confident and passionate.
That's the one that we go for.
That's
I
what
know
I
she was a
put.
mother with 2 children.
I
That's a character trait? I didn't know what it was. I put she was confident because she, like how she was speaking, you could tell that she knows she was doing and she trusting her. Like she was really confident. You could tell in someone's voice and they confident. And then I put that she was
I as you
I
know,
thought she was compassionate with her children, like for her children.
passionate because in it you could see that she was like
yeah, yeah. I mean, if they ask a personality trait or character trait, you have to look at the person character, um, and not just facts about them.
Was would do the same thing that happened. We do to say what could have happened.
What?
When word come, they say, I couldn't even spell that.
What you do?
I still put it. I just put it to the best of my ability.
what I did was I reword the question. I mean I reword it like as in find something similar to it
Uh-huh.
and write that down.
What word
I
that
guess.
is?
I don't remember, but I know there's a couple of words I really couldn't spell. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I couldn't spell them. So I just like, you know
They,
what?
the
I put
word was
this to
This is
immaculate,
what we doing tonight.
Immaculate. Okay.
but I ended up putting it with an E though. I know why.
No, I am.
Yeah, I put an I first, but I said, no, man, I never be right the first time.
No, I am. All right, that's good. Glad that that it went well for the most part. We have to keep it up. So this is the first paper that you take, and then you gotta do paper one, and then you have to
We
do.
doing language tonight again.
No, we can't do language. Remember today is maths, general and health. So that's how we're gonna do it.
Math, health, then general.
I said it just the way I meant it. General, then health.
Sure.
Okay. I just wanted to hear from you all how it was. Good to get the feedback. Um, okay, so let's move forward. Um, I want us to go over. Um, I want us to go over. Yesterday we started.
Listen to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any exams tomorrow?
No. I mean, not that I know of. Not that I know. Not that I know of. Not that I don't. I don't know. I don't know what exams tomorrow.
Our exams Thursday though.
What that is.
Keep on.
My boy put himself in a trap. I want us to go over
What's your man trap? That are they?
Okay, we'll see. Um,
What your man?
it is
You
not
mean
a
like the type in speed or what?
no. It ain't a straightforward. Like there's some funny things. But I feel up the book and everything. Uh, you could do well, but there's some funny things and that is just like some niche things. But if you weren't in the cohort, you wouldn't know. But I hope it goes well. Um, yeah. So I want us to finish off matrix equations today. But before that, I want to go over some past papers because I haven't been doing much Bgcse questions with my people, and I figured that we should do it. This is paper. This is let me do 2020. 2020. I guess we'll do 2020. 2021. Let me just do that. So I'm just gonna go over it rather quickly, um, just to get a good review over it, um, and then we're gonna go back to matrix equations where we was. I just want those persons who are doing Bgcse also have some good practice in. Um, Let me go rather quickly.
Literacy and BJC, right?
Matrix is in your exam. I'm trying to figure out how to put it. All right, so these questions should be pretty straightforward. Here, all we doing is adding the regular addition. So I'm not gonna spend too much time here. Hopefully, every one of us know how to get these numbers. So of course, with these ones, you add column by column. So we add the 9, the 5, and the 2 to get 16. and then we get, and we bring the 1 over, and then we add this column, and add the next column, add the third, add the final column to get 4,106. You can check it and see if I right. And then of course here is, and check it and let me know, because I did this, and I just hope that I made no silly mistake as I did it. The next one is subtraction, of course. The only problem with this one is that notice that 3 minus 6, we can't do that and get a we can't do that and get a natural number. So we have to borrow from the 7. So when we borrow from the 7, we get the 7 to the 6. We end up with 13 minus 6, excuse me. And 6 minus 2 is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. And 9 minus 1 is 8. Right? And of course, the regular multiplication. The only thing with this
Sorry, be writing this? Do you need us to take it down?
You don't have to take it down unless you're taking the screenshot.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted just to give a.
You can go back up, please.
Okay, no problem.
We don't need this, right? Yeah, calculator.
Yeah, y'all have calculator.
Must be nice.
I'm just reviewing for our Bgcse people.
We had to do this with Hans too, you know.
Exactly. They probably didn't know it. Yep, they had to do it before they graduate. So no calculator use. All right, so here it's very important to know your 8 timetables. All right. Like 8 times 9, that's what? 8 times 9, 72. Put the 2 down.
72.
8 times 3 gives us 8 times 3 people.
24.
4 plus 7. That's 31. There's 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Put the 1 down, put the 3 up. 8 times 2 is 16.
16.
19. So this is straightforward. So knowing how to multiply it by 8 is important, and knowing how to divide by 7 is important. Okay. I know some people they struggle with actually knowing how to divide. So please make sure that you know how to do it when you're doing your Bgcse. So the idea is that you do 7 times 8, which is 56. So 56 minus 56 gives us 0. We bring down the 4. And we know 7 times 0 is 0. So we get 4 minus 0, which is 4. We bring down the 9. And so we have 7 times 7, which gives us 49. And so that's how we get it. So the answer is 807. So they start off, that's how they usually start off every time, but sometimes it could be different. They don't have to start off with the plus, the minus, and the multiplication division. They could start off the exam differently. But usually in paper 1, that's how they start it off.
How do you find the square root by hand?
The square root by hand. You can only find the square root by hand if you have like a perfect square. If you have a perfect square, you could do it by hand. If you do not have a perfect square, then you would have to use an approximation, and you could use approximation by using. There's a nice, cute way to do it. I mean, they don't test that in the Bgcse or Bgcse, of course, but there's a nice, cute way we learned when I was in university. They was teaching us how to do it using like polynomials, how to use, I don't know if you're familiar with Pascal's triangle, but how to use Pascal's triangle to kind of help you to find approximations. So not approximations, but exact, and also approximations of the square root. But you had to use Pascal's triangle, or we call it binomial expansion, to do it by hand. But they don't ask about that. Go ahead.
Number 3 question, I said, right.
Okay, what do you say? 123,506. No, that's not an error.
Where the
Better
15
one.
where the 1 before 5 come from?
120. Oh, 120,000, right?
Yeah, I'm so confused.
I am trying to figure out why. One moment. I don't know why this thing won't allow me to edit. Oh, it's because it's frozen. I'm trying to figure out
So indeed, you need a GPU.
what is that.
Graphics card.
I don't understand what that is. What is that trying to say?
It allow you to do more faster.
A graph and star. Oh, 120. Why do I read 121? 120,000. Maybe do. Thank you.
Oh, you right, Daddy.
Yeah, I wrote this. Yes. It's,
I thought it was like an answer key, like shaded from the book or something. That's why.
yeah, I made the answer key. 120,506. Okay, good. So we good. 120,000. 120,506. Very good. So we straight. Thank you for that. So that's straightforward. One to that one. This one say a rectangle is 8 centimeters wide and 12 centimeters long. Write the ratio of length to width in simplest form. So we want the ratio of um we want the ratio of length to width. Then we want to simplify it. So the first thing we want to do, write length and width, and then the length is
Headphones.
12 centimeters. The width is 8. So you want to do it like this. So we have 12 centimeters, 8 centimeters. Then we want to divide both sides by 4. All right. And so 12 divided by 4 is 3. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay. And so it's 3 to 2. Okay. And so that's the answer. I don't know why I kept the centimeters. It doesn't matter though. 3 centimeters to 2 centimeters or 3 to 2. Both could work. Okay. Someone spoke about square roots, so we have a question about it. So it says if A equals 10 and B equals 7, then so if A is 10, B equals 7, calculate the value of A plus B minus 1. And so we know A is 10, B is 7. So we just substitute it. So wherever we see the 10, wherever we see A, we put 10. Wherever we see B, we put 7. And so we left with 10 plus 7 minus 1. What is 10 plus 7?
17.
17, very good. And 17 minus 1 is
16.
16, very good. What is the square root of 16?
4.
Why?
4 times 4 is 16.
Very good, because 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, and so that's the answer there. Okay, any questions for me on that?
You do all of this?
Yeah, yeah.
You go up to 2021?
If I have 2021,
Yeah.
yeah, I have 2021.
Well, the answer key?
Yeah.
Although,
I do paper 1. I was gonna do paper 2, but then I got lazy. I just
Good excuse.
like 9 excuse.
It was too boring, Mr. D.
Not too boring. I just felt like I could have. I just felt like I could have used my time more wisely. I mean, you know,
You feel like something else you could do.
I just felt like I could have do something else with my time. But um, yeah. But then I guess I could do it. I guess I could do it one again sometime. Maybe tonight. I don't know.
I get lazy.
Okay. So let's do number 6. So number 6 is um, the perimeter circle. It's actually fun doing these. It's just that it's really fun. I really like doing it. It's really a fun activity. It's just really challenging. It's just you know doing the same thing over, but it's nice. It's fun. The only thing is why? Yeah. So perimeter circle. Okay, perimeter of the circle, 2 pi r. Oh, perimeter circle is interesting. The perimeter circle is not the area of the circle. Perimeter circle is basically the circumference of the circle, and the formula for the circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. And we can always check that because look, this is circumference of circle formula. That's one. 2 pi r. Okay. And so what we have here is good. So 2 pi r. We know that pi is 22 over 7. And so it's going to be 22 over 7. So it's going to be 2 times 22 over 7 times, now we want the radius. The radius is, it's not 14. What is the radius?
7.
7.
7
How
off
do you
of
get
4.
the 17? How do you get the 7?
Half, because the
Divide.
radius is half of the diameter.
Very good. So 7 minus 7 divided by, sorry, 14 divided
14
by 2.
divided by 2.
Very good. So that's how we got this right now. So 14 divided by 2. And so 14 divided by 2 is definitely 7. I just keep the 22 over 7. So it's going to be 2 times 22 over 7 times 7. So all I did was I multiplied 2 by 22 by 7 to get the 308. And I have 7 at the bottom. And so it's 308 divided by 7, which gives me 44 meters. And so the answer is 44 meters.
Why you do it long way?
See why I did it the long way?
Yeah, let's put 14 times 22 over 7.
14 times 22 over 7.
Remember, this is the BJC way, so they have to follow all the steps, right?
Yeah, I mean, I trying to
They
figure
can't
out
do
again.
shortcut.
I don't think there's what. Okay, I don't understand what you mean the long way. Because look,
Specifically, what you do?
all I did, I multiplied 2 by 22 and multiplied it by 7. And I divided by 7 again. I don't know if you
Oh, okay.
see it.
Yes, sir.
So 2 times 22 times 7. This is really 2 over 1, and this is really 7 over 1. All right. And so
Oh.
it's 2 times 22 times 7, which is 308. And I divide that by the 7.
Okay, question. When you say, when you have the 2 sevens, are you going to like cancel or are you just going to multiply straight through?
Okay, that's another way. You could cancel out these 2 and then you get 2 times 22. You could do it that way.
Okay, and then you have the 7 down here again, so.
Yeah, the reason why I have the 7 down there again, because I did not cancel. I multiply the numerators. Then I divide by 7.
Okay, makes sense.
No, it's 44. This one, bisect the triangle drawn. I did not do this one because I was trying to figure out, I don't have the actual paper at hand. So I was trying to figure out what's the actual angle of this so that I could bisect it using the graph and things. I don't know the angle of this until I get the actual paper. So I have to purchase the paper to figure out what's this angle so I can bisect it. And then I could actually show it. But if we were to bisect something like this, if I would draw something close to it, resembling it, I'm going to do it now. So it's going to be, what do we have? This is geometry. So if I were to do something close to it, it's going to be this. And that. So if we have this now, and this going on. And so we essentially have a triangle. Now, someone mic is on.
My bad.
So what is how big is this triangle? Well, we have the mobile protractor, find a base. Okay. Oh wow, I don't know how I do that, but it's so cool. How do I draw things almost perfect? Look at that. That right exactly on 140 just about.
139? Is that?
Yeah, it's 139.
I gotta zoom in. Hold on. I can't see.
Yeah,
That's 40 or 140.
that's no, it can't be 40. The reason why I say that is because we start at our base. Our base is here. Our base is to the right, and so if our base is to the right, that means we have to use the inside lane. Okay, use the inside lane for that.
So why you don't use the
So that's
other part?
130.
Why use the
Why didn't you use the top part?
well? Okay, think about it. It wouldn't make sense because at this right at this point, why would I use the top, right? If this angle right here is 0. If I use the top, I'm saying that I am at 180. How I get a 180 and this thing is a straight line? So it have to be at 0. Then I move to 10. Like that, just the logical sequence. Then I move to 20. Then I move to 30. I know, well, I had this angle and I already had 180. That don't make no sense. How is this 170 right there? You know what I mean? That don't make no sense. Like it don't make no sense. How is this 140 right there? Like that don't make no sense. This is 40. Sure. But it can't be 140. Now if I go all the way around, that's 140 right there. And so that's why I start with 0. Okay. Um okay, so now let's bisect this line. Uh I don't know, Nancy. I get you fuzzy.
Mr. Petit, you don't clearly hear me. I meant you could put the top part at 0 too.
Oh, okay, so well that's another thing. You could do that. So you could move it like so and make this 0. And if this is 0, then you move this all the way such that it'll be on 140 as well, on 139. So either way, I just feel like this is weird. I don't like that way.
Yeah, like that's more natural to me.
It's more natural to you?
I
Uh-uh.
yeah, I was wondering why you do it like that.
That's weird. It just feels more natural this way. Okay, it's actually 140, you know. If you really tilt it properly. Okay, good.
You added that way for true.
This way is more natural, right?
Because I keep getting mixed up between which degrees we should use.
Like,
40 or the 140 on the left hand side, but you say use the 140.
right here, I don't know if you all understand. Like, literally, if this is your base, because if you use whatever side you have on 0, that's your base. So if this is your base, right? You could think about each of these as increments, like as different angles, right? If these are different angles, you can't expect that the first one to be 180. It don't make no sense because, well, you just start. You know what I mean? You just start. And so the first one can't be 180. So you know you can't be using the outer lane, right? This is your base. And so you increment from your base upwards. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, all the way up to 140. Okay, so that's the idea. Now, if we were to bisect this thing now, what I'd do is we'd have to draw sorry, we have to draw a arc um, cutting both sides. All right, so let me do that. Draw an arc cutting both sides. So cut that side, and also cutting this side, the base and the. Very good. Then we're gonna take our um, compass, put it at this end, keep it the same length now, and then um, extend it such that we make an arc somewhere here. All right, good. And then we're gonna take this side also, and then make another arc. Okay, so extend this one. We want these two arcs to intersect. So let's go again. All right. Okay, good. There we go. Let's see. So they intersect at this point. They intersect at this point. So I'm going to draw a red line. All right, and so the line is going to go from L all the way to through that. Make sure.
Basically, without doing all that, you can't just draw a straight line up to the,
No, 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 we have
Why not?
no, we have to do it with a compass. And you're not saying your question, but
Oh, what's the angle of that straight line?
well, what is half of 140?
120.
No, half of 140.
120?
Half of
No,
140. Half of 140.
70,
70.
70.
Yeah. So it should be 70. And so if it's not 70, that means we do something wrong. And so let's take this and measure it.
Oh, couldn't like the bicep? Couldn't you just do that like that way
You mean just draw
with
70
max?
degrees?
Yeah.
Well, no, because notice your question, right? What they said. They said bisect the angle drawn. So, I mean, they didn't, it's 3 points. So, of course, they don't want you to draw in the thing. They want you to actually construct it using a compass and a ruler. So,
Question. So bisecting means finding the middle, right?
yeah, bisecting means determining the middle of the thing.
So all the time. Wow. Okay.
That's bisecting means. So, for a line, you want to cut the line in half. For angle, you want to cut the angle in half. All right, so this is our.
This is indeed your internet.
Let's dig into.
Yeah, kind of rough.
I thought that was only me.
It rough?
I thought it was my internet.
It's still rough or it's like.
I thought it
Let
was
me
my
get
end.
the
Fancy
you.
that was your internet too, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh my goodness, Lord God.
Really?
Almighty God.
Really?
This is
No
indeed
kind
don't
of
try like you were trying to talk,
I hear her trying to
and he was
talk.
like, ah, exactly.
All he needs at all, boy. My goodness. Wow. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, clear now, but sometimes it just go low.
Okay, so that's okay. All right. That's my bad. I don't know. Um, okay. All right. Okay, so next up is, so that's how we would bisect. So this right here should be 70. And the next one is 70 as well. Okay. Okay, so next up we have, so they want us to complete the chart below. So this one is 21%. As a fraction, it's going to be 21 over 100. So you can look at it at these two zeros and the bar as 100 because the bar could be 1, the bar could be 1, and then the two zeros could be 100. I mean, the zeros are the 100, so that's how you could look at it. So 21 over 100. And this is the decimal 0.21. Now 17 over 20, the way how I get it is because you know that this is 85. So multiply 85 by 100.
Let's dig. What you doing?
We're trying to find out. Okay, so
Your screen freeze, you know.
my screen froze.
Oh, okay. Now I see you.
It just picked back up.
Now we can see it. Yeah, internet.
Oh boy, that is not good. It's not good. Okay, so just bear with me for these few moments. Um, it's nothing I could do right now. Yeah. So what I was saying is this is 21%, and they asked us how to write it as a fraction, so it's gonna be 21 over 100. And because you have 21, and you see this bar, you can look at this bar as 1, and these two zeros or circles really, you can look at them as zeros, and so that's how you get your denominator. And the numerator is just going to be 21, so it's 21 over 100. Now for this one,
Mr. Petit,
go ahead.
like how for the rest, the percentage is the one that go up top, right? Like how come for B, it have 85%, we put 70.
Okay, good question, because it's still 85 over 100, but so You just simplify it. So what I mean, like,
Oh,
yeah, so it's still 85 over 100, but 85 over 100, we can use something to divide by both of them, and then
so
get,
you have to divide them, or you can leave it.
you have, I mean, in this case, they simplify. And so I guess the one that they use is 5. And so, because 85 divided by 5 is 17. And then 5, is it true? I don't think that's right. Let me see how they get 17. I don't know if they use 5. They probably use another number. Yes, they use 5.
Oh, now
85 divided by 5 is 17. And 100 divided by 5 is 20. So that's why it's 17 over 20. All right. Good question. So here, but you can easily see from the decimal, because the decimal is 85, sorry, 0.85. So that's easily 85 over 100. Multiply that by 100 to get your,
I don't know.
go ahead.
I can't see your stuff.
Can't see my screen?
I can see it, but it freeze.
Okay. Right, that means I have to make this change then. I mean, give me 2 minutes. Um,
Mr. Petit, you there?
yeah. She said she can't see my screen, so I gotta change something. Hopefully to make it
What
better.
you say?
You said you can't see my screen properly, so I said I'm gonna try change something.
I could see it, but it was freeze. Now it back on the page. It
Oh,
back on the page with the percentage, fraction, and decimal.
okay. If that happen again, I'll have to change it. Okay. All right. So 85, 0.85, 17 over 20, and 85% are all the same thing. Now for this one, we have 9%, which is 9 over 100, and that's 0.09. The reason why we got 0.09 is because we divided by 100. I don't know if y'all know, but because we're dividing by 100, what you do is you say 9, and you move the decimal point twice since you're dividing by 9. So it's going to be 1, 2. Right, so the decimal point is now here, and so 0 goes in the front, and 0 goes in the front as well. So now you have 0.09. Okay, so that's how we got the 0.09 there.
So, Mr. Petit, when you learn this,
Huh?
when you learn this like that, just moving the decimal. Like,
When
when do you learn that?
when do you learn that? That's like grade 4 or 5 or something like that.
I don't remember that in grade 4 or 5.
Yeah, we call that when you multiply, when you divide, that's the topic. Multiplying and dividing by 10, 100, and 1,000. They teach you how to do that. And if you didn't learn it in primary school,
I learned most of like in junior high.
they
Don't-
reinforce it in they
I
reinforce
learned that in grade 7.
yeah they
Yeah,
re
grade 7 for sure.
okay 7, okay, but they supposed to teach that in primary school though, but they reinforce it in junior high school if you didn't get it. Um, any questions on this chart before I move on? How we got the numbers? How to change them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So next up, we are going on to this one. It says in the diagram below, find the length of the side mark X. Y'all can see it? Did it move along? Or it's
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So um we have this figure. It's it is a polygon, but it's irregular. And so we have 5 centimeters here, 7 centimeters here, 9 centimeters here, 4 centimeters here, X centimeters here, and 3 centimeters here. We're trying to figure out what is the length of this side. And so how would we do that?
-7 from 3.
Minus.
7 from 3? No, how would you do that?
That's the same thing I was looking at until I realized that on the
You
side
get
where
4 as well.
Exactly. That's what I did at first. I realized where the X
Yeah,
was.
that's what I'm saying. The answer right there. So I don't know why you're saying.
But you still get 4 when you. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's not a good logic. See, the issue is that this whole thing is 9. Right?
Oh, I didn't.
I look at the wrong part. That's why I get 4. I do
I look
7.
up. I was looking up. Sorry, I really was looking just up.
This whole thing is 9, right? And since this whole thing is 9, we want to figure what this X centimeters is. So this is going to be 9. That means this side here is also 9. All right. And so, but this is 5. So 5 or move. So we're gonna say 9 minus 5 to give us this 4 that's remaining there. Okay, so it's supposed to be 4. Because 4 plus 5 gives us the whole 9 that we need. Okay? And so that's how we do it. So the answer is 4 centimeters. Okay, let's move on. So now the next thing we want is the perimeter of the shape. The perimeter of the shape is going to be, we're going to add up the lengths of all the sides. Okay? It's going to be the perimeter of the shape.
Plus the 4 that we got.
Plus the 4 that we got, yeah. Alright, so it's going to be 4 centimeters plus 3 centimeters plus 5 centimeters plus 7 plus 9 plus 4 equals to 32. Okay, let me know when I can move on. Okay, good. So that's that. The next thing we want is probability of a head on a coin. Well, it's only two outcomes. Either you're gonna get a head or a tail, and it's only one option to get a head, so it's gonna be one of the two.
Mr. Did you want this again? And it's 1/3.
Oh my goodness, we are ignoring that rare.
Wait, is there 3 sides of a coin?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I get 1/3. It was only 2 sides.
But where is that decided?
Because you could like stand it up on the side.
That's a rare.
Bruh.
If you, I don't know.
I didn't even have to know.
I wonder what kind of coin you're saying.
That's almost impossible.
Is it coin 3D?
Let me help. What's his name, Mr.
Yeah. Please put this to rest, Mr. Petit.
Let me help Mr. Bethel. Okay, let me go to the textbook. This is the textbook. We're on probability, right? Sample space and events. Notice what the textbook says, right? Listen it. These are the only possible results, ignoring the remote possibility that the coin land on its edge. So when we considering probability of heads and tails, we ignore that rare possibility. Okay.
Okay. But it is a possibility, but since it's an outlier, we ignore it.
We ignore it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So the sample space is HT. Okay.
Okay, so I was right.
He was right. I not saying that's why
okay.
I just ignore
But since it's an outlier, we don't consider it. Okay.
We don't bother with that. All right. Okay, so we want a red jack from a deck of cards. What's the probability of that? A red jack from a deck of cards.
1 out of 50. I think 1 or 2 out of 54.
52.
Or 52.
52.
Whenever I'm on a card, there is.
Elizabeth D, you don't think they should remove this type of?
Why they put this question?
I wouldn't know how much cards in the deck.
You supposed
52
to know that.
or 54, I think. 52.
What if you don't know? I mean,
I think it's 52 cards in the deck.
You cannot do probability and don't.
I think it's 52. I agree. I don't know.
Like you cannot do probability.
Oh, so that's on the subject.
That's
it is 52.
Okay.
You have to do. If you're doing probability, you always deal with cards. You always deal with dice. If you don't deal with cards and dice, that means a teacher. whoever he or she or it was didn't do a good job. Um,
Petite, I did not know that.
yeah, you have to know
So
that.
I guess they didn't.
I
I
mean,
did not know that.
no, I mean, I guess I could blame myself because have you ever done any deck of cards question?
No, we do coins and
We do
dice.
marbles and stuff like that. We did marbles and stuff.
All right,
That's about
you could
it.
blame me. It's actually 52. And you have to be familiar with the deck of cards. So let's just go over it. That's something you have to know. That's like as a part of maths, it's something that you have to know. And so deck of cards. What you need to be familiar with is this setup. So you have to know um, each of these ones. We call them denominations. There are four denominations: hearts, sorry, spades, hearts, diamonds, and clubs. All right. Let me give you the next one so you can see it properly. Yeah. So listen. I don't like this one. This look bad. So let's study this one. Let's study this. So we call each of them major. Each of the major four we call them denominations. And why is this? And we call. Okay, good. That's good. So this you have to be familiar with this, right? They don't really go too in depth with this, at least for the questions that I've seen, but at least for the BJC and BGCSE. But in probability, we normally assume that students know the standard depth, right? So there's four denominations, right? Um, two black and two red. And so when they say the probability of getting two red jacks, the jacks could either be um it either could be a
Timing,
red jack that is a heart, okay, or it could be a red jack that is a diamond.
timing.
And so the probability of that is going to be 2 over 50. 50 what?
Two.
52. We can simplify that and get what? 1 over.
Mr. Petit,
Yes, sir.
you know that
26.
there's a basically infinite amount of ways you could sequence these stack of cards.
Why you say infinite? 26.
I don't know. That's what I read up about.
Infinite ways to sequence it. I would want to know why they say
Yeah,
that.
like you see how it in this order, where I'm starting from ace 2, 3, 4. Like it's an infinite ways you could switch these cards up.
Mr. Bethel, can we stay in the class, please? I'm really trying to understand. Please, just let's for once, just once. Let's stay in the class, please.
Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
uh, and Nancy said what we always thinking. I mean, it's good to ask some interesting question. Um, I'll have to look at that and I honestly can't say. But you could send me the source and I could look it up. But there's a lot of questions that we could ask out of this. Like we could say, what's the probability of getting an 8? Right? So probability of getting an 8 from a standard deck of cards. What would that be?
On 4 over 52.
4 over 52. Very good. Because we could get a black one, two black ones, or we could get two red ones. So all together it's 4, and it's sort of standard deck, so it's sort of 52. And so 4 out of 52. Um, and we can simplify this. So probability of 8 is going to be equals to um, well, what is, I think, I think, I think that 4 would go into 53, you know. Yeah. Divide top and bottom by 4, we get 1 over 13. Because we divide this by 4. And we divide this by 4. Alright? So be familiar um with the cards, the deck of cards. Okay? So have a good um feel for it. Okay? And of course we got so much different ones. We could say there's probability that you could get a prime. So probability that you get a prime, it would be what?
Prime number?
Prime number, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4, 16. 16 out of 52, I think.
Yeah, 16, because either it's gonna be 2, 3, 5, or 7. And each of them, there's 4 of them. So there's 4 twos, 4 threes, 4 fives, and 4 sevens. And so add them all together, we get 16 of them. It's going to be 16 divided by 52. We divide top and bottom by 4. So we get 13. And 16 divided by 4 is what? 16 divided by 4 people?
4.
4. Okay, so that's it. There's a tons of questions we can ask on this. So be familiar with the standard deck. 52 cards.
In this case, would you classify J as 11?
No.
Okay.
Alright, so let's move forward. Well, hopefully that's clear. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna so it's 1 over 26. Um so draw an example of array. So array is you start with a point and you draw an arrow in one direction. So that's array. A pentagon is a 5-sided figure like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here they said list the next prime number after 7. I don't know why I have 2 of them. But after 7, the next prime number is what?
11.
11. Because 8 ain't gonna work, 9 ain't gonna work, 10 ain't gonna work, the next one is 11. So the next prime number after 11, after 7 is 11. List the first 2 multiples of 8.
8 and 16.
8 and 16. Very good.
Elizabeth D,
Yes, sir.
do you have to know your primes up to 100?
Do you have to know your primes of the 100? That's good practice. I mean, of course, they ain't asked you to list all of them. But you have to be able to identify the primes given any range, right? So for example, if I say give me a prime number between 60 and 70, right? Well, 60 ain't gonna work. 61, can 61 work? 6, 7, 61 look like it's prime. 62 ain't gonna work. 63 is gonna work. I mean, 63 is not prime. So 61 so far is what we have. 64 is not going to work. 65 is not going to work. 66, no. 67 looks like it's prime as well. And then 68, 69 is also prime. So from that range, we could find some prime numbers. So you should be able to, given any range, tell me what is prime. Not necessarily know the sequence from from 1 to 100, but given any range, be able to tell me what's prime. So you're supposed to be able to tell me, if I give you any range, what's the next prime number, or what prime numbers exist in that. And that's just basically by knowing what does it mean to be prime. That means that it only has two factors, one in itself. Okay. Okay, so how do we prime factorize 16? We only want the prime numbers that gives us 16. So the way I got this was I just used the prime factor tree. And so what I did was all I did was I said, so 16. We know 16 is what? How can we get 16?
4 times 4.
4 times 4. And then so we could break down 4. It's gonna be 2 by 2. We could break down at 12. It's gonna give us 2 by 2. And also 16 equals to 2, 2, 2, and 2. So it's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Right, so this is all the prime factorizations of, that's the prime factorization of 16.
Is there any way other to write that?
What other way you thinking about?
Like 2 cube or something
2 to
like
the
that?
4th power.
No? Yeah, 2 to the 4th.
2 to the 4th power. I was thinking about that, but I want to leave it like that. I don't want to write it in next form. I want to leave it expanded. Okay. All right. So that's that. Next up is, so we want to also prime factorize 24. And we could easily do that by the same method, the factor tree, and you will get 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Now they want us to use these prime factorizations to calculate the lowest common multiple of 16 and 24, which is the LCM. And so the way that you do that is that you list the factors, the prime factors of 16. So that's 2, 2, 2, and 2. Then you list the prime factors of 24. That's 2, 2, 2, and 3. So we list them up. And then we group them. So what we do is, if we look carefully, we group the 2's and that count as 1. We group the 2's and that count as 1. We group this 2 and that count as 1. And we're left with one final 2 that we don't have nothing to group it with. So we leave that and we bring that down. We also have a 3 that we don't have nothing to bring it down. We don't have nothing to group it with, so we also bring that down. So in the end, we are left with 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, which is 48. So that's how you calculate the lowest common multiple using prime factorization. You list them out.
How you say you do it again?
You list them out. First, you find your prime factorization. Then you list them, the common ones right under the other. So this one is 2, 2, 2, 2. Then we put the 2's under each other. So this 2 goes with that 2, but that only count as 1, 2. And then this 2 goes with that 2, but that only count as 1, 2. This 2 goes with that 2, but that only count as 1, 2. This 2, there's no other 2 to go with it, so it still is 1. This 3, there's no other 3 to go with it, so it still is 3. And then we multiply everything. So the lowest common multiple of 16 and 24 is 48. Okay.
How much shows is that in the first row?
4. Okay, so all right, so all right, so let's move on. So the next thing we want to do is we want to evaluate this um this I guess expression. The first thing we'll start off with multiplying these two, and then we'll add that. So pay attention. All right, so we say 1 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2, and 5 times 5 is 25. So we multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. So 1 times 2 is 2, 5 times 5 is 25. Then we change this mixed number into a improper fraction. And the way how we do that is we say 1 times 25. What is 1 times 25?
I have a question.
Yeah, go.
Your answer could also be an improper fraction, right?
Yeah, but then we switch it back. So after we do 1 times 25 and we add it to 11, we get 36. So that's 36 over 25. And then we add the 2 and 36, which is 38 over 25. Then when we get 38 over 25, we switch it back. 38 over 25, we switch it back into a mixed number, giving us 1 and 13 over 25. So that's how I got that. Okay. Any questions on that? Any questions on how we got that?
A question. If you were to, let's say one of the denominators wasn't, let's say if one of the denominators were 6, would you have to find, would you have to make them the same denominator to multiply? You could still multiply like that.
No, you could still multiply like that. Right?
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Listen to you.
But to add, if they was in the same, you would have changed it. Yes, ma'am.
So you have to turn it back into a mixed number. You could keep it
This one
as
may
a
be fine. So I would say you could leave it like that. But I always like to bring it back.
okay.
Okay, next up is we want to add these two. We're gonna add these two terms. So the first thing I do here is I would take the 2 and 1 over 3 and change it into a mixed number. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. That's how I get the 7 here. And then you just keep the denominator, which is 3. And so 21 over 24, we just bring that down. Now we need to find, because these denominators are different, and so we need to find the lowest common multiple between the two. And so that'll be 24. So we ask ourselves, what times 3 gives me 24? Well, that'll be 8. So we say 3 times 8 gives us 24. And then 7 times 8 gives us 56. That's how we get the 56 over 24. Then we just multiply this one by 1, because 24 times 1 is 24. Whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. So 21 times 1 is still 21. And now we add. 56 plus 21 is 77. And 24, we don't add the denominator, we just keep it once they're the same. So once we get that, 77 over 24 we convert it back into a mixed number. At 3 and 5 over 24. And the way you do that, you just divide 77 by 24 to convert it back into a mixed number. That's how we do that. Okay. Any questions on this?
Not sure.
No, you understand?
Mr. Petit,
Hey.
you can't send this in the chat.
No, you can take a screenshot. That's why the least I can let you do is take a screenshot. Now you know. I never have to send no man. I can't put that. Then you don't do nothing. Take the screenshot.
What you mean?
Take the screenshot. I'm not trying to send the file.
My storage for?
Your storage fully. On your laptop?
You know, my laptop, because my laptop get messed up, so I wait on my laptop to come.
Well, just delete some of those unnecessary videos.
That's what they didn't mean unnecessary.
Unnecessary. Can't be order. Move them. Alright, so let's do this. This is we almost done with this paper. So here we want to simplify it. We want to use the distributive property. So we're going to multiply 3 by 2f and 3 by g. So 3 times 2f is 6f and 3 times g is 3g. We just put the subtraction symbol. We just bring it down. We also bring down the 5g. Now, 5g we have to use.
Negative 3g.
Say it again.
See 3 times negative g.
Is what?
Negative 3g.
Yeah, that's what we have. Okay, and so what we do is we bring down the common, the ones that are common. So 5g, we bring that down, and then 3g, we also bring that down. So we have 5g minus 3g plus 6f. Okay, and so we are left with, so 5g minus 3g is 2g plus 6f. We can't do none of these two, so we just leave it as such. Okay, so it's 2g plus 6f. Okay. Any questions on this?
Hmm.
Good. Let me ask the question. You prefer me to do it like this or to actually write it out step by step instead of having an answer one time?
Either way.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
You did the answer key for the 2021 also?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I would like to take some pictures of those.
You would like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. We could do it. But I want to know what you think. Should I have the answers already or do it by hand so you actually see how it goes? What you think is best? Why are you so quiet?
I don't understand it. I'll ask you
Okay.
today.
Which you say, Mr. Petit?
You prefer me to write it out by hand or to have the answers out and explain it already with the answers there?
I rather you write it, because like he's already see the answer, so you don't have time to try and do it.
You don't have time to try and do it? Okay. All right.
Unless you hide the answers before you show it.
Okay. Okay. That's a good point.
I like this way.
Why?
Because it's less time and you cover more.
Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes, I don't know, the same thing Cooper said is good too.
Okay.
I think this way it's better because you already have the steps and everything.
Okay. Thank you. So this one is factorizing. So with this one, what we have to do is we have to figure out the common multiple of the lowest common multiple between 12 and 8. Not multiple, factor. The lowest common factor between 12 and 8. And that's definitely, why say factor? not the lowest common factor, it have to be the highest common factor. The highest common factor between 12 and 8, which is 4. You can't get a higher factor of both 4 and 12. So it's about 12 and 8. There's no higher factor of 12 and 8 than 4. So 4 is the best choice. And then both of these have A in them. So we have to pull out the A as well. So we have 4A, open bracket, 3 plus 2B. Okay, so 4A times 3, which gives us 12A. And 4A times 2B, which gives us 8AB. Because 4 times 2 is 8. And A times B is AB. Right? And so the answer is 4A plus 4A open bracket 3 plus 2B. Right, so that's how we get it.
Where did 3 come from?
Because what number times 3, sorry, what number times 4 gives you 12?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, good. So next one we want to do is we want to solve. So we're going to solve this equation. What we do is, the first thing we do is we send the 4 over. Okay, and so that'll be, we left on this side with 3h. And this is 13 minus 4. Okay, 13 minus 4 is definitely 9. And then we divide both sides by 3. 9 divided by 3 is definitely 3, so h is equal to 3. All right, so that's how we do this question. Any questions on this? No? Okay. All right, so this one is graphing it out. They said use a ruler and pencil to plot the points A, B, and C and to form the quadrilateral. So, what points they give us? What is the points? A, B, and C. Where's the points A, B, and C? Oh, okay. The points A, B, and C was there before. I just joined them. So with the red line. So A was here, B was here, C was here, and D was here. But I drew the red line to connect the quadrilateral. All right, so I drew the red line. That's the first thing I did. Then after we join them with a pencil, then we need to draw in the two diagonals of the quadrilateral. The two diagonals are the ones in blue. So those are the diagonals right there. Okay. Yeah, so that's that. Then they say write down the coordinates of the points where the two diagonals intersect. That's where the blue lines intersect. And where does the blue lines intersect somewhat? Like this one. What is it?
-2. 2.
Negative 2, 2.
Yeah, -2.
How did you could like even okay without your lines being there? Obviously, how would you know that they are for B question B? Sorry, I don't remember the question, but
How do you know that they're the diagonals?
yeah.
Okay, so the diagonals is gonna be the ones that like from opposite vertices. Okay, so opposite vertices gives you the diagonal. So when I say opposite vertices, I mean like, okay, say for example, we have something um like we have something like a square, right? Or this is a vertex, this is a vertex, this is a vertex. Notice that they are opposite. So connecting one vertex to the next one, once they're opposite vertex, that's a diagonal. So that's diagonal 1. And then connecting one vertex to the opposite one, that gives you another diagonal 2. Is that Nancy?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'll write it down.
So once you connect opposite vertices, that's the diagonals. Good. Next up is this is
So
our
can you go back just to B for 1 minute and just get a quick screenshot?
yeah. Okay, next up is
Thank you.
Miss Betty, you can send me the recording for tonight, please.
yeah, I will. I actually have the recording for thing. Let me send that now from yesterday. I have that. I just didn't send it today. That's my bad. I can send it tonight for sure. Um, you know what? Let me kind of do that. Put it where it should be. Let's see, $12. Video details. Yeah, this it. Bgcse date. No. Let's go. Okay, there it is. This is yesterday's class, right? So let me send it to myself, Mr. Bethel. Let me send it to Mr. Bethel. So okay, okay, good. So I'll send that to the rest of you all. Okay. Yeah. So next one is calculate the size of the angles marked by the letters. So you want to figure what's the size of angle N. Notice what type of triangle this is.
Isosceles.
Socially,
I saw
And so because it's isosceles, um,
the two sides equal.
the two sides are equal, but more than that, the two angles are equal. And so 73 and 73, these two are going to be equal. So if this is 73, this is 73, um, then n, in order to get n, we have to subtract 180 minus 73 plus 73. Okay. Um, and then so we have 180 minus 146 when we add them two together. Okay. And so 180 minus 146 is 34. So that's how we get 34 for n. For this one, for B, um, anyone could explain what's happening here?
Quadrilateral equals to 360. So you add 110, 87, and 90, and you
Mm-hmm.
subtract it from 360.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you get
So we
73.
add these and then subtract it from 360 because all of them should add up to 360 because angles in a quadrilateral are 360 degrees. Okay. So when we add them up, 87, 90, and 110, we get 287. And 360 minus 287 is 73. Any questions on that? No?
No, sir.
73. Okay, so that brings us to the end of paper one. So that's it for paper one. I guess we'll do paper two at another time. We could do that another time. But I want to do the matrix question before we leave.
That was good for people.
That was good for paper one. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think we could do it like this only if we are in for time because we could cover a lot in a short space of time. Because if I was writing it, we wasn't gonna finish all of this tonight.
Yeah, I agree, but you got covered answers. Like,
I say cover the answer. Uh, we know you know the answers for school. We already know that.
how you know that?
We know that already. We need to prove that. We know that. Trust me. All right. So
Yeah, Mr. Petit, you can do it. Someone, someone can take your exam for you because they don't check.
they don't check.
No,
Wow.
they put your candidate number. Show them. Oh, go to that desk.
What? Wow. Boy. Wow. That's crazy.
So maths paper three. I could do the first two, but
No man. I see. I can't do that because my students there. So, like, they're like, Mr. Petit, what you doing? You know what I mean?
They recognize you even with the mask.
What? That's why it's come to school with. That's the only way they recognize me. Alright, so let's go. Let's go. Move forward. So let's continue. Someone sent me something. I think I need to see something from one person. Shout out to Miss Joseph for always doing her homework. I must say, even though she's giving me trouble in class, but she's doing homework. So very good, Nancy.
Good job, Miss Joseph. You are our inspiration.
What trouble do I give you? Honestly, please just give me one example. So
One
I know.
example.
Hey, Nancy.
There's the that's one. That's one. You might pull in your leg when I say that, right?
That's a trouble.
I just pull in your leg when I say that, sis. Are you good? Good. Um, we are cool, man. Nothing wrong. Okay,
Only 3 more weeks together. Only 3 more. I count them
only
down.
three.
So,
Really, there's known us like that? Wow. All right, so solve the following matrix equation. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to actually subtract them. So that's we're gonna say a minus. Excuse me. Do we have to? We just want to find out what a is. Do we have to subtract? No, we don't have to actually do that. We just could form the equations. So when you
so
do that,
when you do that, just you. So when you carry over like the negative equal sign, my problem is, do it automatically become two negative 2a
okay. So
equals 1? Would that be
all we have is a minus 2 equals 1. That's the equation that we have. All right. Because, right, that's a minus 2 equals 1. Okay, so that's the equation that we're dealing with.
oh
Um,
damn?
and so now all we need to do to find a is just send the thing over. And so send the 2 over. And so we are left with a equals to what?
1 negative
1.
1/2.
What? A
It's
equals
true.
to, we send over the 2, it becomes a what?
Wait, it becomes negative. It's a negative, right?
Become a positive.
Oh, positive. Thank you.
For what? Oh wait.
What do you mean? Like, this is negative 2. We send it over, it becomes a positive 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a equals to,
But don't we like divide?
That was the homework, right?
yes, homework. A equals to 1 plus 2, which is 3. A is equal to 3. How would you divide?
I have a question, right?
Uh-huh.
This is a serious question.
Uh-huh.
When we you see how you just pull it out? Aren't we supposed to like minus it entirely? So when we put negative 2a equals 1?
Okay, I see what you did in your homework, right? Because I have it right in front of me. That's
Don't
one
put it
way
on the
to do it.
screen. Don't put it on the screen, please. But
No, I'm
that's my
just
question.
okay. So that's one way to do it. That one way you could do it is you could actually combine these two, um, you know, in matrices, and you know, but even if we do it like that, it still wouldn't be the answer that you hoping. Because look, a minus 2, so it's gonna be a minus 2, and it's gonna be b minus 5, so it's gonna be b minus 5, and then it's gonna be c minus 3, which is actually c plus 3, and then it's gonna be 0 minus d, which is gonna be d equals to 1, a, b, and negative 1. And so if you look carefully, we still end up with having a minus 2 is equal to 1. Still end up having that.
But so I did it wrong then because I have negative 2a.
Okay, so negative 2. I don't understand how you get negative 2a.
Because I combined it, like I actually joined it together.
Join what?
I
This
joined 2 with a, yeah, like
a?
negative 2. And I put my a on it.
Oh,
To,
no. It's actually subtraction, So a minus 2.
oh, see, that's what I.
A
Okay.
minus 2.
So it's basically
Not
wrong
this,
then.
not distribution. You're probably thinking distribution with negative 2a. No. A minus 2. Alright, so it's not distribution, it's subtraction. So be careful with that. So a equals 3. Now we have b minus 5 equals a, right? So b minus 5 equals a. Now what is a? What is a?
3.
3. So b minus 5 equals 3. Okay. And so it's going to be b is equal to, we're going to send this over. 3, we send over the 5, so it's going to be 3 plus 5, isn't it? Right?
Yes, sir.
What is 3 plus 5?
8.
8. Alright, so b is 8. So figure out c, please. I can't read off. 2 seconds. Alright, next up.
Is C 11?
Okay, c is 11.
I get 5.
Okay.
I got 11.
5.
Well, we have c minus negative 3 equals b. So that's c. Sorry, my bad. So that's c minus negative 3
It's 11. Sorry.
is equal to b. Remember, b is 8. Negative and a negative is a.
Positive.
Positive.
That's going to be equal to 8. And when we send over the 3, it becomes a.
Negative.
It becomes a
Negative.
negative. Yes, ma'am. So what is 8 minus 3?
It's 5.
5.
So why mine to look wrong and I change it back to 11? Because this is too complicated.
No, you have one. One say 11. One say that's so
Alright.
so much confidence.
Oh,
Like,
Still,
well, how
I
one?
did. I
Where?
No,
double
you
checked.
know.
No, I double checked it when we say 11. I was like, hold on, can it be 11? And then when I went, I switched it because I thought,
yeah.
okay, I see me in 11, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really 5.
See,
But how one get 11?
8 plus 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because he probably just did C minus 3.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I know I had 5. I
No,
don't know
no.
why I changed my answer.
No, you heard one say 11. That's why you choose
So
that.
because I wanted to double check to see if I was wrong. You know, I could have been wrong.
Ah, my. Typical female syndrome. So C is equal to 11. Gotta stand by your answer. I know it's true, right?
But I do it wrong.
Alright. Can you imagine you inside the Bgcse? You doing your thing, all good, and then someone whisper,
No one's screaming. No one's screaming.
42, 42. And then you
No
went there,
one's
oh
screaming.
boy, let me change this. And then you that time you was doing the quadratic formula good, sign rule good. One say, oh, 42. Say, oh boy, let me change this to 42. Yeah, the one thing wrong.
Don't do that. I don't want it to happen. I rebuke it. It can't happen. It won't
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. That's a good thing you get a good thing in practice.
Mr. Petit,
Hey,
D could be
you know,
one.
someone alarm actually going off on an exam. I don't know if it's teacher one or what.
for real? During the recording?
During the recording, that cost me a point.
What? During the second reading or the first?
The second reading too.
Oh my goodness. Mm,
I thank God I nearly can't hear, so that didn't bother me.
for real? Wow.
I nearly couldn't hear, but I did hear something. But
Wow.
y'all was at Holy Trinity.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that was the what you call them people? I thought that was the old man phone.
The invigilator.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I thought that was one of their phones.
What one that was? I hope it wasn't the student. I really hope it's not the invigilator because I would be sad. I was gonna tell them play it over, sis. Play it
Yeah,
over.
I was gonna complain, but I said I would have kick me out.
Because yeah, well, hey, boy, but you know this BTCS you got the whole year. Wait a whole year. Uh, if it was like the SAT, you could like do that, in a week, then do the next one, But you have to wait a whole year, man, a whole year. So
You could take the SAT weekly.
it's not a weekly, but it's almost monthly, if you ask me. I mean, in the Bahamas, we don't have enough centers, but here in the States, we have a lot of centers. It's frequent. Free. Not weekly now, I hope exaggerating, but, you know, it's done way more frequently than ours. All right, so the next one is D. What is D?
I get one. Please, no one come with something that cost me double check. This thing, I lock it in one.
I get one.
You get one?
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh my. D is
But I
one?
want to go over though.
D is one? Okay, so let's see. So we have 0
A
minus
possible chance it could be. Not stop it.
D. And we have -1. So we have um basically 0 minus D is equal to -1. So 0 minus D, remember 0 is the additive inverse. So not additive inverse. Let me say in foolishness. 0 is the additive identity. And so if we add it to anything, it's still itself. So it's still the original number. So 0 minus D is still negative D. So negative d equals 2, negative 1. Divide both sides by
1, negative 1.
negative 1.
It's
Equal
going to be d
yeah,
equals positive 1.
d equals positive 1.
Okay.
Is that how y'all got the answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good.
I
I
did.
did
I
it,
didn't do it.
but yeah.
Do
How you,
it
how you, how you do it?
like how you do the rest.
How I did the rest?
I mean, I just follow what you did. The examples you shown. I just follow it.
Yeah, and that's what I did for this one too, right?
No, you put a division thing. She just put
Divide.
it on the side of it.
She what?
She did it like side by side, like how you have the bottom here side by side. She didn't put the divisions over the division.
I don't understand. She didn't divide by negative 1 then.
No. I like you see how you do it.
Like
Mr. D, this don't make a lot of sense to me.
what? Okay. What don't make a lot of sense? Tell me.
How can
For
negative 1 divided by negative 1 equals 1?
That's easy. What is that? Ask a simple question.
But it don't work with the next number though.
Use the
Like if you do it with
calculator,
2,
and the calculator make it make sense.
Okay.
then okay, Mr. D,
Okay,
if
go
you do
ahead.
that with 2, it ain't gonna work.
Okay,
So
give me
I
an
wonder how
example.
you get that with 1.
Give me an example.
There's negative 2 divided by negative 2, that give you 1, right?
Yes.
So how can negative 1 divided by negative 1 give you 1?
Yeah, because what you wanted it to be.
Like cross out 0 maybe?
What is negative 3
That's
divided by negative 3?
1.
that's positive 3.
No, sir.
That's
It's
one.
1.
It's 1.
It's 1.
What is
All of
negative
them are
4
1.
divided by negative 4?
1.
1. What is negative 5 divided by
So
negative 1?
so it's like a net
1.
positive then.
No, see, look, it's the same thing. Okay. Let me see how best I can answer this, so you can understand what's happening. Um, remember what division is. Division is as is if you are sharing out something. So if you have 5 apples, right, and you're trying to figure out how much apples, um, if you have 5 apples and you have 5 people, you're trying to figure out how much should each person get, right? You have 5 apples, 5 people. Each person should get what?
1
One
apple.
slice.
They're just gonna get 1. See what I'm saying? Same thing. If you have 6 apples and 6 people, each person is gonna get 1.
1.
That's the ideal. And so once you have, and this is in general. This is the rule in general. If you have A over A, okay, that's gonna equals to 1, regardless what A is. So A could be positive, A could be negative, A could be pi, whatever A is. A over A is still 1, always. All right. And the reason, if you want a real reason, is because look. I could prove it to you. So if we were to prove it, we'll say if we wanted to prove this, say mathematically, we would say. So this is a proof. We'd say let A be any real number. So let A be any real number. Then the following holds. So we know that A multiplied by A multiplied by 1. So let me do it properly. So it's gonna be smooth that. We know that A multiplied by 1 over A is going to be equal to what? That's going to be equal to A over 1 multiplied by multiplied 1 over A is going to be equal to A over A, which is equal to what? What is A over A? A divided by A.
1.
One time.
Mm.
And so, since A is any real number, right? Let's not do that. So let's do it here. I want to put at the bottom. Can we do that? So since A is any real number, if A equals to -1, then -1 divided by -1 must be 1. That's the proof. You understand now?
Well, if A is any regular number, then okay.
Yeah. A could be any number. So we said that A is any real number. And any real number, you multiply it by its reciprocal. So A multiplied by its reciprocal, or A multiplied by, we call this the multiplicative identity. So the multiplicative identity of A is 1 over A. And so look, we have A. The multiplicative, if you multiply A by its multiplicative identity, you will always get 1. That's exactly what we're doing here. So we end up with -1 over -1, which will give us 1. Because how much times A goes into itself? 1 time.
Once.
Yeah. So you essentially divide top and bottom by A. So if you divide top and bottom by A, that'll give you A divided by A is 1, and A divided by A is 1. So we're left with 1 over 1, which is simply 1. And so if it works for any real number, A is and -1 is a real number, so it must work for -1. Okay. So this is how we would prove it mathematically. Right, any questions on that?
I see.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that was just a side note. Okay, so that's that. So D equals to 1. Go ahead, my dear.
Never mind.
Okay. Okay, so that was anything left over for matrices that we haven't done. How y'all feeling with matrices?
Mr. Petit,
Yeah,
No
them
clue.
better.
Yes, sir.
so in that case, we have to divide them.
In that case, we have to divide. What you mean?
Like, the other ones we add and subtract, but you for this one,
Oh, I see what you're saying. You mean for negative D?
yeah.
Yeah, we had to divide because you have to get rid of the negative sign.
So that's a rule in that case.
In general, I mean.
Yeah, that's a rule.
Yeah, that's a rule because I like your question one. It is a rule.
Yeah, straight to the point. I ain't trying to beat around.
It is a rule. I like how you just putting it. This is a rule. Just remember, it's a rule. That's true. It's just a bunch because I mean, think about it. We don't have no constant to send over. I mean, 0 minus d is still negative d. I mean, think about it. If we have negative 4x, right, is equal to 5. How would you do that?
Divide both sides
Divide
by
both sides
4.
by what?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Okay. So notice that we didn't send nothing over. Okay. So x is equal to negative 5 over 4. Okay. And so, yeah, that's how we do it. We we have to divide this point. The reason why we send over in each of them is because we had something to send over. Not to send over in this case. Yeah, what else we need to do for matrices is that we need to multiply by a scalar, and so that's something that, not that we haven't done it before, but it's just something that would be worth noting for this one. I want us to, let me insert something. I want us to,
So we being doing vectors then.
see if we don't, yeah, matrices is similar to vectors, you know. Very similar.
I think vectors are easier.
I think vectors are easier. Okay, so let's add these two matrices, right? So, how would we add them? Remember, we add
8 plus 6.
we add corresponding entries, so it's gonna be 8 plus 6, 12 plus 5, 9 plus 11, and 7 and 4. Okay, and so what do we get at the end? We get 14, 17,
17, 20, and 11.
okay. Okay, so that's that. The next thing we need to know is we need to know about scalar multiplication. And scalar multiplication is pretty simple. Please. Okay, so what they're trying to say is, if A is a matrix of order m times n, and C is a real number, any real number, then the scalar product C, then the scalar product is C times capital A, where A is the matrix. And so a simple one would be something like this. So we call 4 the scalar, all right? And we're gonna use 4 multiplied by each of the entries, okay? And so that's how we would do it for that one. And so we'd say 4 times 3, which is what?
12.
12. So 4 times 3, which is 12. 4 times 2, which is
8. 8.
very good. 4 times 1, which is
4.
4. And 4 times 7, which is, what's 4 times 7?
28.
28.
So this is how we would multiply the scalar. All right, so it's a scalar multiple. Okay. Scalar multiplication. Any questions on that?
It's easier just doing it
It's easier just doing it. I don't understand.
rather than to like try to figure like comprehend that top part. It's like it's easy just doing that. Like,
This is how we represent it in maths in general. Remember, we always talk about the general case. All right, and so all they're trying to say is exactly what we did here. You know what I mean? This is the engineering version. This is the mathematician version. You know what I mean?
That don't look like sense to me.
All it's saying is C.
So you could understand that, Mr. Petit?
Yeah, I mean it's exactly what we're doing now. It's saying,
What that's saying?
okay, m times n. That's the order of the matrix. The scalar product is C times A. That's this. That's C times A. And this is saying that, hey, if we have ith, jth matrix. So j symbolizes I symbolizes how much rows you have, j symbolizes how much columns you have. And so what we have is exactly what we have here. Like it's just in reverse. Okay. And so this one here is this part, and this one here is this part. Right. So they kind of, do it in the opposite way, but so this one is
All
like
I got
this,
is the letters.
and this. That's a part of it, man. And so what we're saying here is that we multiply the C by the A, and that's how we get this, right? And that's what we did. We multiplied the 4 by everything inside it. You don't have to know this part though. That's
So we distribute it.
Precipitate.
yes, ma'am.
How do we apply these kind of skills of like stuff we learned basically from matrix when it comes to
Barely
the
hear you.
examination?
When it comes to the exam, okay,
Like
very
how
good.
do we apply? Like I understand the formulas, but when do I know when to apply the specific formula? If you understand what I mean.
Specific formula. Okay, so let me give you a prime example. So let's do something like this. So this is a matrix equation, and if they give you something like this, notice that which one is the scalar?
K
K is the scalar.
and the K side right here.
So if they give you a matrix equation in the exam, if they give you a matrix equation like this, then you have to apply the notion of the scalar, all right, to actually find out what A, E, and K is. And so let's do this. So this is gonna be our last question. Oh, it's already 8 o'clock. Or I should leave this for homework 8.
No, I want you to do it. I want you to do it. I want to see how I forgot. I want you to do it.
Okay. All right, Miss Sam Rattley. All right. 2 A, and then E, and then 3. And so it's gonna be K times 3. So that's gonna be 3K.
3K.
And then we have K times 1 is gonna be
1K.
1K, or just simply K, right?
Okay.
And then we have K times 0, which is
0.
0K or 0. Because we call 0 well, that's a 0 property. So anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So that's 0, yeah. And then we have K multiplied by negative 2 is going to be negative 2K. Okay, and so that's this. It's going to be equal to 8, 6, negative 3, and negative 1. Good. Okay, we're not done yet, right? We need to figure out what E is. We need to figure out what K is. We need to figure out what A is. I think the easiest one to do is A, right? And so let's figure out what A is. Any ideas? I say A plus 0.
0 equals negative 3.
So A plus 0 equals negative 3. Remember 0 is the additive identity, so A plus 0 is simply going to be A
0. Oh, so
0.
sorry. No, I mean, I said I thought you was talking about. Sorry.
Okay. Negative 3.
So Miss B, this basically just algebra.
Exactly, matrix equation. You see? It's equations, but matrices. All right? Or we call it matrix algebra. Okay, good. Now we need, what else? Okay, so we need K. The easiest way to get K, in my opinion, is I'd say use this one. So 3 plus negative k. It's gonna give me -1. Yeah, that's how I'd use. Oh, that's not the easiest, That's not the easiest. Let's not use that. We don't have to use that. That's not the easiest one. The easiest one is the one above.
You could choose to use
Say it
either
again.
one.
You could choose to use either one. I would, but so 2.
You want to use 3K then,
Yeah, I want to use that one. Can someone tell me why I would choose that?
because
Uh,
it just has 3K. It doesn't have any other letters.
That too, but
it isn't a net.
Too many negatives.
It isn't
yeah,
a net.
no negatives. So all the numbers are positives. I like that. That's better. Mm, I mean, yeah, it's better. So that we wouldn't get into any trouble. So 2 plus 3k equals to 8. And so the algebra have to be good though. You have to send over the 2. It's going to be 3k.
I always wonder why math people are so good at algebra. It's because of this. Everything so
everything,
algebra related.
everything exactly. We build on it. Okay. So if you can't do algebra, you can't do differential equations. You can't do calculus. You can't do proof. You can't do none if you don't know
K would be 2. Oh,
no,
shoot, you read that far.
no, we ain't that far. We ain't as fast as you. We slow. So, 8 minus
That's not true.
is 6. Then we divide both sides by 3. And so those two cancel. So k is equal to 6 over 3, which is what?
2.
2. So k is 2 for sure. A is -3, k is 2. Now we need e. E is easy now. So e is gonna be e k and 6.
Do do we actually use what K is now or no?
Yeah, we have to use what k is. Very good question. A plus k. That's why I did k before I did e equals to 6. And so e plus what is k?
2.
So 6. Send this over. And so e is going to be equal to 6 minus 2
It's 4.
is 4. E is equal to 6 minus 2, which is 4.
Okay,
Why
now
you
you could
keep
give.
keep doing that?
Say it again.
I said, okay, now you could give something for homework.
Now I get some homework. Oh, wow. Okay. It's because you know why? It's because I'm using this version of PowerPoint. Because if you notice, it's different from my math classes PowerPoint. I'm actually on another pre-made slides. You see that? So this is compilability mode. So that's why I keep on fidgeting. Okay. So homework, eh?
Can we get something, just a suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get something pulled from the Bgcse?
Something pulled from the Bgcse
Mm-hmm.
like
For
this.
homework.
No problem. We could do that. We could do that.
Like a question from
Yeah.
the paper.
What I want is with all the Greek letters.
Oh boy, you like them sort of stuff. That's not fast. That's not fast. That's a transpose. Um,
So I gotta do a graph.
no, you don't have to do a graph. It's just switching the rows and columns. Bgcse math. I saw something nice before. I can't remember which paper it was. Let me see 2016. See what that's saying. Uh, they need to do better with these past papers, man. You know what? I need to make my own site and put all the past papers on that. Because we only have a few.
If you get the money
The money to do what?
to buy a domain,
Oh my, nine hard. That body not. Okay, good. This is a good question. Yeah, do this.
I think we put up before, and
We did this before. Well, do it without looking at our solution.
Okay.
I think it'd be wrong.
We did, because I remember talking about determinant and everything. We did do this. Do it without looking at our previous one. I don't know if you could be able to do B. Um, like I said, we did do this before. I remember doing this, but um, do it without looking at what we did. So find out what K, M, and N is. So do this one, A and B. Let me see something. Let me see if we have anything interesting on.
That was the one we do.
We did that before. I want to see if we have anything interesting on 2014. Oh, look at this. Cumulative frequency, people. um,
Yay.
factors.
That's what paper 3?
Yeah, paper 3, yeah.
That's 2014, right?
2014.
Okay, 2014.
This is where they asking us to do. Huh? Okay, good. So this one is not going to be easy for y'all because you have to multiply. Solve the matrix equation. Yeah, we should do this. Do B too. Do B. Do A and B.
Okay.
But y'all supposed to be able to do this because we did all this before. Y'all supposed to know what determinant is, and you're supposed to know how to multiply these two matrices. So I ain't no excuse. So do this one. And the final one.
But they got 3 mark.
Who they? Why you keep on saying they? I don't understand. Why you saying they? What do you mean by
Cause
they?
they the one who taking the exam.
What do you mean by they? You mean we? That's what you mean, we? How y'all separate yourself from doing matrices? How
Question.
y'all manage to think like that?
Because it's too much, bro.
No, it's not
Like,
too much.
I try to understand,
Uh-huh.
but it's
No,
too.
because it ain't coming on the BJC, you ain't care. That's why.
I do care. I try to learn it, but
Mm-mm. If I was coming here, BJC is gonna ask me so much questions. Mr. Petit, how you do? And I don't understand.
of course,
Exactly. But you don't understand that um when you blink your eye, you're never gonna do that too.
I watch it with this.
Should they do this? No, it's
Martin.
Martin. All right, do this last one. Do this last one. But this one requires. I don't like this one. Let's not do that. I don't like this one. Let's see if we can find something more. What we did. I don't like that one. Let's see. 29, 2009. Matrices always is combo. I noticed that.
I don't see you trying to give us headache tonight. Okay.
Not headache. It's not headache. It's fun.
Okay.
Oh, look what they start some good questions, eh? Now they move all these good questions.
Thank God they don't come.
Some are already didn't even know matrices on this question.
But they usually would come in what, paper 3, paper 2?
Paper three. No, not paper two. Paper three.
Oh, only in paper 3. Is there four? Okay, it's only 3 papers, right? For extended, right? It's only 3. 1, 2.
Only three. One, two, three. 2008. Do we have anything nice? Ah, look at this. Check your answer to part C by finding the value of dy over dx. Ah, calculus. Look how they insert that day. They don't do them stuff like that no more, man. I don't know why.
Would they remove it if like no one got it right?
Somebody getting that right.
No, I mean as in would they remove the question from the examination entirely?
They
If
mark it on the
someone got
curve
it
always,
wrong?
so, you know. I guess these are the type that they expect y'all to do, so. Okay, well, do this one then. Do this one. They like the multiplication one, so do this. So they like the type where you have to multiply it together before. So do number 5. So that's 3, right? Just 3.
Mr. G,
Yes, sir.
we go with some factors too.
Factors. Can I send you the whole book?
Yes, sir.
No, not vectors. I mean, what? I think it's circle theorem.
Simple.
Oh
Again,
boy.
we covered we did circle theorem like we spent like weeks. That's
Because all
simple.
he's saying is circle theorem on this paper, you screwing up and I don't understand. Not one.
But you don't understand circle theorem, man. Don't make me cry, man.
I mean, the bow tie rule.
Not all, I can be honest.
Don't make me
Me too.
cry.
Not all.
Don't make
Not
me cry.
all. Just some.
Oh man.
You have to remember the bow tie.
Yep.
I agree with them, Mr. Petit. Don't need a bow tie rule.
Not all.
Don't really
Not
know.
no. I know bad. I know couple. Just not all.
Oh my. Okay. All right. That I guess we'll do it in Sunday classes. Our first Sunday class this week, right?
Say what?
Sunday coming?
I said next week Sunday, right?
Say this Sunday.
I didn't say next week Sunday.
You
We
said
are in
You said
Sunday
next week, last
classes.
week.
Pardon?
you said
You say the first of May.
I said the first day.
you said last.
That's also
We are in Sunday classes.
I said I didn't say the 15th day.
No, so you say last Sunday?
I tried
No,
to
you
say
said we last week you said we we wouldn't start on the first. We
I
can
wouldn't start
start
first.
the
I
week
started
after.
the 15th. Yeah, you were
You
on
said the
15th.
day after that. No, you said the week after that. So the after
15th.
Sunday is what, the 8th?
The 15th, y'all can't call me.
No,
Scared
it's
of
the
it.
8th. It's the 8th. But these are doing that.
Y'all ain't easy at all, boy.
Where we are in Sunday classes?
Yeah, we having Sunday classes.
Yay.
Sunday.
On the 8th.
Yes.
Wait, Sunday?
Sunday.
What?
So we starting on the 8th?
We starting on the 8th. Yes, that's this coming.
So, like, are you going to break us apart or are we just in the entire class? Because they say...
Only for BGCSE people, not for... If you're in BGCSE, you don't have to be there because we're just going to be doing BGCSE papers.
Wow.
BGC, y'all time come in close to the y'all exams. Because y'all exams in until
June.
June.
Y'all wouldn't need that long.
Because
So yeah, that's how it's gonna be. So
See, right? Like this question right, yo.
this one?
I don't understand.
This vectors.
That's vectors.
Vectors.
That's column vectors and stuff.
So we'll have the really tie up on vectors. And then we have, so on Sunday I have to do bio and math. So doing bio, be there. I'll have to tell you the times though. I'm thinking we should start 5 for the math classes and maybe at 3 for the bio. But we'll see.
Oh, thank you. Yes, 3 o'clock. There, got it. So that's good.
3 or 4.
from 3 to when?
3 to 5. And 5 to 7.
Say 5 to 7.
Or 5 to 6. It's up to you.
No, 3 to. If we start from 3, we have to. Because remember, class start at 5, so we might go from 3 to 5 or from 2 to 5. Yeah, I think
For biology?
Yeah, for bio, and then from 5 to 9 for maths.
Ah.
Yeah, I think that's what we have to do. But I'll verify it by Thursday. We'll give you the times.
That's like 6 hours in class.
Yeah, I mean that's what it takes, eh?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
Miss Petit, I got some paper 5 chemistry.
you have some paper 5 chemistry. How does it look?
Yes. I mean, only one experiment I really know on that, but I just can like study and
Yeah.
practice all of that. But I think can come.
Yeah. I wish I was a chemistry guy, but you gotta ask Mr. Bethel for that. All right.
Who's Bethel? Who's Mr. Bethel?
Floyd, Mr. Bethel, the one who's asked a bunch of questions in our
Oh,
chemistry
well,
group.
come help me.
uh, all right.
I getting there. I getting the level, Mr. PT.
No, you already passed my level. Super sweet.
But they don't have like don't they have like don't Mr. Knight have chemistry past papers online as well?
Who,
You
Mr.
too?
You mean Knight?
Mr.
I think
Yeah,
we
he
looked at them,
has.
eh? You looked at Mr. Knight's chemistry?
Stuff on you.
You did? Because his look
Hello.
good. You look at Mr. Knight's chemistry stuff?
Yeah, he have up to paper 3, I think, but he
Yeah.
doesn't do like paper 5. I haven't seen no video with him with paper 5.
Okay.
No, I only saw paper 3. I didn't even see paper 1 or paper 2.
That's true.
I only saw him doing paper 3, and then he'll do like little lessons,
Yeah,
but not paper 1, 2, or
yeah, you're right. They'll do the lesson. That's true. All right.
Oh,
Well, all the best in your studying. For those who have to leave, you can leave. But for the rest of us who are staying back for health and
all right. Thank you.
yeah, see you later. Okay, so we firstly gonna do general, then health. Now, right, Miss Cooper?
Alright, no comment, no comment.
No comment. No comment.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Why you putting general first now? Like why?
Why
Like
not?
because this is it.
Why not, man? Why not? Why not?
It always was health
I like my
first.
class. I like to do any whatever one first.
So that means like
Now when I come to your class and you could have it your way.
so Miss Betty.
Uh-huh. Go
I
ahead.
can't wait for that class.
I can't wait for that class. We started something though. I remember we started something. Let me see if I can find
We
it.
had homework.
It had homework, invertebrates, yes. Um
Kennedy must he do that? How she say that?
mm-hmm.
Indeed.
What? No,
Big
I
clap,
can't
big
believe
clap,
this.
big clap.
I cannot believe this. This is not happening. What?
Huh?
Actually done
So
it.
rare.
My. The world coming to end tomorrow? What? Alright. I know we had it.
Get used to it because I get doing more.
I get used to it. Okay. With the swag too? Wow. My goodness. You getting influenced? Them what they call it? You used to go to soccer or St. Anne's?
And
Or they the same thing?
nah. Sock need to go sleep.
So, oh, for the rivalry between y'all or something. Tuesday, 3rd of May, 2020. We're gonna continue our journey with the invertebrates, and I told y'all to one moment. One moment. And I told you all to look up what was oh wow. When you find homework from your students that you didn't mark, makes you wanna cry, man. Oh my. I thought these already marked.
That's tough.
I really thought they was already marked. Um, that voice, that's Nathan, eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, so I told y'all to look up what was roundworms. It was it? That's what I told y'all to look up.
I think it was
Annelids. Annelids.
Annelids. Okay, annelids. Okay. What are annelids? Anyone?
They're like a segmented body. Some,
Segmented worms. Yes.
you
What are some
know,
examples though?
earthworms. Yeah, that's all I know. Earthworms.
Earthworms,
Tapeworm.
ragworm,
Leeches.
leech, yeah, and feather dustworm. Tapeworm is not annelid. We talked about that last week. Tapeworm is flatworm. That's a plat a plat helminthus. That's the fancy word for it. Um, plat helminthus. So that's a tapeworm. That's it goes along with the planera, planaria. Um, so the annelids. Let's just continue the chart that we have. I don't know what happened to that former one, so I have to create another one again. So we had the phyla going on, and we had the characteristics, and then we had the examples. Okay, so the annelids. That's when I give you a homework. That's a segmented word. Now these are a part of the invertebrates. So let's just get that straight. Invertebrates. We still diving into their um their different phylas, and we said how much phylas there are for the invertebrates. Anyone remember?
I think it was 10.
7.
Not 10. 7 is the closest.
5.
Not 5. 5 was for vertebrates.
6.
No,
8.
8. 8 phyla. All right. So the first one was protozoa. Anyone remember what protozoa was? That was
It
System
had one cell.
living
yeah,
or mainly live in water. So I think it's something like that.
water. Yeah, amoeba. Give me another one. Uh, yeah, give me another example.
Bacteria. I don't know.
Uh,
Paramedium, something like that.
paramecium. Paramecium. Yeah, and then
Plasmodium.
which one causes the malaria? We
The
said
plasmodium.
yeah, the plasmodium. The next one we did was the coelenterates. What's some examples of that?
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish, coral. Anyone else? Any other example?
Anemone, something like that.
Anemone. Yeah, Portuguese man of war. I didn't say that. I didn't put that last week. But
Aren't they like the most dangerous jellyfish in the world, right?
I don't know. I don't know about the most, but they are dangerous. Um. And then we have the last one was the flatworms. Did we talk about the nematodes last week?
Yes, sir.
That's the what? Roundworms, right?
A long round body, something like that.
And they are parasites. Examples would be what?
Tapeworm.
Tapeworms.
Tapeworm. I talking about the nematodes,
Hookworms.
Hookworm, very good. Then Acarus and the rootworm. So the annelids is the next one on the list. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. We are on the fifth one, the fifth of our phyllodes. So we have 3 more to go. Boy, gee, the last one is the longest.
Did you song your out?
Why?
Cause yeah, I'm cutting into someone time.
Ah, boy. Well, that's someone need to um uh be in both classes. Ragworm, leech, um, feather, duster worm.
Can we see what that look like?
Yeah, sure. Ooh, I don't know.
Yay.
I don't know about see how these worms look like. Ah, ah, oh boy. Yeah, go ahead.
That's a worm.
Don't know, you Miss Petite.
That's a wormy. Um, only those people who are in general science class can speak.
That's
Yeah.
just cold.
Sure, I'll do it. No,
Kill it
I'll do it.
extinct. Make it extinct.
That's just cold.
Oh, feather duster worm. See, this ain't bad.
They look kind of majestic.
Yeah, they look. It does. Yeah, yeah.
Loki got it pretty, not gonna lie.
It does. Trying to
Color's nice though. I ain't gonna lie.
does. My goodness. Wow.
Alright then. Alright.
Wow.
Yes.
Pretty. And ragworm. Oh, that was like. Yeesh.
Rag.
Ah!
Whoa,
Can't look
whoa.
at this. I can't look at this. My goodness. I can't. I cannot. Why am I still here?
Oh,
Oh, I can't look at
and
this.
my
That
legs
is
Really,
fall.
are you one of those
I
people
can't.
without like it was a type of phobia?
I can't look at that. I can't look at that, boy. Ah, just does something. Crawls on my skin. I can't do that. I thought that still wasn't so bad. Ragworm, no. The next one is echinoderms. These
So
are
you have some kind of phobia with cilia?
yeah, yeah, I do. Echinoderms. Okay, so body has a pattern of 5 parts. They often have spines, and they live in the sea. So give me some examples. Would be what? I'll give you all a hint. This is the hint.
I love like starfish and stuff.
Patrick. Patrick Star.
You all ain't have no childhood? Patrick the starfish.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, starfish.
It is Patrick.
Brittle. Star. We also have the sea urchin. And then we have the
That's them sticky things, right?
sea egg. Okay, so sea urchin.
And they kill coral reefs.
What, the sea urchin? I'm not sure about that. I know much about them.
That's them black things, right? Them little black ball thing.
Yeah, these guys. They look yucky too, boy.
It looks like they kill you, game.
Crazy, man. Yeah, catch.
Boy, no, sir.
Fish.
People is eat them, you know.
For real?
Never.
People eat anything. So that's.
Them
These
white
things
people,
look
boy.
ugly, boy. They look ugly. I don't know. This look pretty. But my goodness, this look ugly.
What
Wow.
we need to do? Cut them up and make some jewelry out of it.
Oh my goodness. Wow. These things look like they don't even deserve to live. But they, especially this. Oh my goodness.
As a petite, you
Why you
sound like
make this so
Hitler.
Real talks, man. You
You doing
dissing
starfish
starfish.
genocide, man?
For real, I mean,
You don't like starfish?
I don't, not, I mean,
The ugly
some of
one?
they do look ugly. They look ugly and crawly and just, they does something to me, man.
Did they hurt you as a child?
This look, look at how they look sticky and I can't take that. I honestly, you might think I joking, but ish, look at this. This is even worse.
What's not that? Boy.
Make it extinct.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm sorry for those people. This is the same
Nah.
thing as sea urchin, you know. I mean, sea urchin.
But I take the cake.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't know how people could be. Definition of sea egg. It's actually a sea urchin. Yeah, same thing. My goodness. Oh, wow.
How do you cook sea eggs?
I know, right? Oh my goodness.
Crack it open.
And then the sand dollar. Everyone should love the sand dollar. They okay. They don't do no one no harm.
How do you smooth? I always wondered that. And a sea cucumber.
Sand dollar. Okay. That's when they ready dry out.
That look kind of solid, low key.
Yeah, look nice, right? Alive and dead. The live one looks more moist and damp. The dead one is more firm and hard. Okay. Okay, nice, pretty stuff. Pretty. Yuck. Mm. I guess they move with these little things in the back of them. I guess they I forget what they call them. They call them something feet. Um, I can't remember the name of the feet. Something feet. I can't remember the word. Let's continue. After that, and then next thing we have is mollusks.
All gotta like mollusks.
That's the stuff that people in the Bahamas love to eat.
Those the ones with the vowels, right?
Yes, sir. Molluscs. Or some people also spell it with a K. Excuse me. So they are soft body. Now we can distinguish three types of mollusks. Three classes really of mollusks. I'm surprised they spell it in this weird way. I usually familiar with this spelling. Let's see.
The K version is more.
KMOU. That's I familiar with now like that. I don't know why they spell it in a weird way. Okay. Alright, three classes of mollusks. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we can look at that. We have the gastropods. They like to ask these type of questions, like with file and stuff like that. So also make sure I know that the gastropods. These would be the ones that they have a spiral shell. Okay, so they have a spiral. I have otherwise. They have a spiral shell. So examples of that would be. What do you think?
Uh, those snails.
The conch and the snail. Okay, those are gastropods. Next thing we have is the bivalves. They have two shells that work like a hinge. Those would be
Clams, right?
yes, ma'am. So you have the clam, scallop, and the oyster. And then we have finally the cephalopod. The cephalopod. These ones have no visible shell,
Like an octopus.
like an octopus. Pretty good. Octopus. The slug and
Wow, so diligent.
the squid. Yes, sir. All right.
So the gastropod is also the univalve then.
Yeah, we can say univalve. Yeah, that's a good one. That's true. Univalve. I like that you mentioned that. Thank you, because this did come in the exam before. All right, good. The last one in the phylus is going to be your for the invertebrates. It's going to be anyone know the last one? Oh, sorry,
No idea.
no idea. Man, that's not true. That is not true.
What it was?
The last one. The last one of our invertebrates.
Boy, I know.
What? Start with A. I give it away by now.
You said A?
A, yes.
Surely it's not amphibians.
No, not amphibians.
And it's an invertebrate?
Invertebrate, yes, sir. Wow. AR. It should be a giveaway now.
You want me to know arachnids?
Arachnids are a part of it.
You mean
One
them
more letter.
animals with the certain type of legs, right?
Yes.
Arthur and something?
Wow, I can't believe this. Arthro.
Pods?
Yes, arthropods. Wow. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know we all familiar with
I
arthropods.
said anthros.
Yeah.
Yeah, arthropods.
They have like three what do you call them?
There are 4 classes.
Subtitles?
So I want y'all for homework
I know one is a
tell me.
crustacean.
Yes, very good. Tell me the 4 classes of arthropods, and then also tell me, give me some examples. Okay, to do that homework. Yeah, and then when we come back, we'll discuss more about it. I want to go to health before I get thrown off the stage. All right. Any questions before we go move on to health?
We gonna ever do past papers?
For what, general?
Yeah, like the short answers.
Yeah, but come in more closer to the exam though. Not
When the exam is?
the exam all the way in June. Bro.
I think June 13 or 15, one of them.
Yeah. If you ain't coming down to that, we'll June, okay? Um okay, so the last thing we was on to health was the skeletal system. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we was on the skeletal system. And we was talking about the different types. I gave you homework on that too. We was talking about the different types of tissues that are a part of that. I said to tell me what was cartilage or
And tendons.
tendons was what I gave you homework, right? Ligaments and tendons, right? Is focus.
Yeah, so
All right, so today is still Tuesday. We are in general science. Sorry, health. God. And this is skeletal system, and this is part 2. And we continue our discussion of the skeletal system. Now, today we're gonna really get in depth in talking about the bone marrow. I really wanna finish a good significant portion of this today, so please bear with me. I want us to do ligaments, tendons, bone tissue, bone marrow today. look at some bone facts, and then we're gonna end it off with the common names of bones. Okay? And the scientific names of the bones. Okay, so that means we have a lot to go, so let's begin. So ligaments, why is that wrong? It's LG. So ligaments. Anyone looked at that one? Which y'all have?
I think that whole bone to bone, I think.
Bone to bone? Yes, sir. Bone to bone. So these are scratchy. Anyone ever thought a ligament before?
Never in my life.
Well, that's good. I
But and I know it's very expensive to get treated.
yeah. I think Kobe Bryant tore a ligament before that one time, and he had to go, and he is like he didn't know if he's coming back, and he was like, "Well, you're Kobe, we expect you to come back, and he ended up did coming back, but it was a tough
Greatest
experience.
of all time, boy.
Aha, yeah, I know what you're saying, I know what you mean. All right, tendons. The pity he didn't live to see 88.
I think that's the one that attaches a bone to a muscle.
So they are tough, non-elastic fibers, unlike Nathan said they attach muscle to bone. And then we have bone tissue. Alright, so this is the hard outer part of the bone that is made up mostly of what minerals we said make up the bone mostly?
Calcium,
Calcium and what else?
phosphorus.
Phosphorus. Very good. Calcium and phosphorus. And what does what does it do to the bone?
Makes it stronger.
Very good. Makes it stronger. Gives the bone its strength. Its hardness and strength. Good. The next up is we said we're gonna talk a bit more about the bone marrow. And now there are two types of bone marrow. What are they?
Yellow and red.
Very good.
I know you are an A student.
I realize. I realize. Red marrow and yellow. Now where does the yellow marrow come from?
The fatty cells, I think.
The fatty cells. What do you mean by that? Explain.
I think it deals with like fats and stuff. I'm not sure. Okay.
Okay. What about the red?
That's where all the red blood cells and white blood cells get made, I think.
Well, definitely the red is the that's where you have the manufacture of the red blood cells. You're absolutely right. The yellow comes from the yellow color. So the yellow color of the yellow marrow is due to the larger amount of fat cells. However, the both of these. So both of them um, both the red and the yellow contains large amount of blood cells. So at birth, we have more, when you're born, you have more red than yellow. And that's because, just in case you end up having incident where you lose a lot of blood, you could have like a backup. So at birth, all marrow is red, and in the event of large blood loss, the body can convert yellow to red. Now, red marrow is found mostly in flat bones. What's flat bones? When you think of flat bones, what comes to mind? Like flat bones. Flat now, flat.
Flat.
Mhm.
I think the cranium would be one. I think.
Yeah, the cranium would be one, but something that even more stands out more. So how about like the one that's between, that's that
The
binds with
humerus.
flat, flat, flat. So stuff like the sternum.
This. Right. That's gonna ask you in the sternum.
What about like the feet? Where the feet, like the flat? I know what I'm trying to say.
You know what I mean? Like flat, right? Like look at the sternum. Look at the sternum, right? You see
The
how flat that
pelvis.
is? Very good. You see how flat that is. So it's a flat bone. Now the other one would be, someone said it. The pelvis is also flat.
What about the ulna?
Cranium could also pass as flat. The scapula.
What about the scapula?
Yeah, yeah. There they have ribs. Scapula and vertebrae.
What about the femur?
If what?
Femur, the thigh bone.
Femur. No, that's not listed as.
What about the vertebrae?
Yeah, we have the vertebrae. Um, the yellow marrow. So I don't know if the femur would count, but they don't have it listed there. The yellow marrow is found in the hollow inside of that, the middle of long bones, such as long bones would be such like what? Such as the femur
Tibia.
and humerus. Red marrow is where what? Most blood cells are what?
Made.
Produced. Now, where are white blood cells made?
I
Same
guess.
place as the red.
Same place.
White, yellow marrow is where white where we'll say some white blood cells are made. Okay. So let's look at some bone facts. Just some random facts about the bone.
Zibidi,
So
do you know how long it takes for one red blood cell to make a circuit around the body?
one red blood cell to make a circuit around the body. I don't know. How long?
60 seconds, approximately.
Wow. That's interesting. In my mind, I had 3 minutes. I don't know why. I said 3 minutes. 60 seconds. Okay, that's
So them things moving fast.
yeah, very fast. That's 60 seconds. It's quick. The entire body. Hmm.
The entire body.
Hmm. All right. So quick facts. There are 20 phalanges. As this number includes fingers and toes. The, whose pelvic bone is larger? Let's see, males or females?
Repeat that.
Female,
Why?
because they have to give birth.
Pelvic bone of female, pelvic bone of woman is larger to accommodate.
Learn some every day.
Pregnancy, but you could tell, and the sexual act. That's true. Um, Now both males and females have about 12 pairs of ribs, and the tibia is larger. Sorry, it's the larger of the two leg bones, and it's the one that's more to the front. This is it's interesting. Ribs can regenerate or grow back within. Can anyone guess?
Yeah, lifetime.
2 to 6 months. All right, so the last thing that we're gonna look at is anyone can remember the last thing I said we're gonna do. Can you remember? I said I give you all a guide. I said he's gonna do ligaments, tendons, bone tissue, bone marrow, bone fox, and then what?
Scientific names of bones.
Yeah, scientific names. Common names, eh? All right, so the carpel. That's the scientific name for what?
Rest.
The risk. Um, Capital. Scientific name for
Your waist.
waist.
I mean shoulder, I think.
No, collarbone. Wow. cranium. Everyone know the cranium.
Brain.
Brain. Mercy.
I said brain.
Skull.
Skull.
Sorry.
That's fine. Um, femur.
Die.
Femur. Thigh bone. The mandible.
I think that's your jaw.
Yeah, lower jaw. Um, we have the maxilla.
Higher jawbone.
Very good, upper jawbone. All right, then we have the patella.
Kneecap.
Yeah. Then we have the phalanges.
Fingers and toes.
Fingers and toes. Then we have what else do we have?
Carpals.
We talk about that. How about the scapula?
A shoulder, I think.
Yeah, that's the shoulder blade.
You get the sternum.
We haven't done the sternum. That's the exact next one. Sternum, which is the breastbone, and then we have the tarsal, which is the what?
Ankle.
Ankle. We have the tibia, which is the
I guess that's like tough.
shin bone, and the last one that we're gonna look at is the vertebral column. That is the backbone. All right. Okay, so those are the scientific names. And
You're doing like the radius and ulnar.
the radius and ulnar. What would be the scientific name for that?
Skin, I guess.
Say the skin.
I don't know what the normal name is, but I know like the radius and ulnar on your hand.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, so those are the ones I'll be considering for the day. Let me just show you, I think, no lesson on the
I'm done.
You finish, Miss Cooper? I know you all night, Miss Cooper.
I'm done.
Oh, you're done, not done with that yet? One moment. Okay, no diagram, no skeletal system journey is complete without actually looking at it. And so we need to actually look at it and point it out. And so to see where they actually are. And then next week I'm gonna do a quiz. A little quiz on it.
Is it graded?
They graded. You're on a GPA too? I thought about having a GPA for this class.
No, thank you.
Yeah, straight.
I thought about it. I was like, I should do a GPA thing. Do exercise.
I'm at school. I need that.
Yeah, you ain't need that either. Alright, so this is the skull, obviously. The mandible is the lower jaw. The what we say is the upper jaw. That's the
Maxilla.
maxilla. And then you don't really need to know the cervical vertebrae, but you need to know the clavicle. All right. The scapula. So this is the clavicle. The scapula is the shoulder blade. These blades. Okay. The humerus is this. This is the humerus. All right. The sternum is the one in the middle. Okay, that's the sternum. And then we have the ribs, obviously. The ulna and the radius. Okay, so the radius is the one in the front, the ulna is the one in the back. Then they got all scientific with us. We don't want these ones. We call this one the femur, right? I don't know why they. This is the femur. Why? Okay, no. We want. Oh, so sorry. They have the femur. I just asked my bad. This is the femur. Then we have the patella, which is the kneecap. And then we have the tibia, which is the shin, and the fibula, which is the one in the back of it. Okay, so this is a good diagram. All right, so I guess next week we just could cover it and name it and see if we could with that. All right, so let me go back to the names.
So we having a quiz on this.
Yeah, next week.
I bet.
All right,
I can be prepared for that.
all right, awesome. Okay, so with that being said, have a
Mr.
wonderful
D.
night. See you tomorrow. Yes, sir.
Good night. Good night.
We could go over the 2021 maths playbook.
Go over it. Which one? Bgcse?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. No problem. What on that you want us to go over?
Hey, that's take a look at the whole thing.
Oh, you're taking it to the other thing. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. We gotta finish thinking first tomorrow. Paper 2, 2020.
Man, we can't have a good night, Mr. D.
You gotta have a good night.
We can't have a good night.
Bye.
I think Miss Cooper cut us off.
Yeah, she got up. She got us off. Only for the night. You know, it's cool.
All right, good night. Good night.
Good night.
Can I finish?
Night, night.
Good night. Good night.